Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a few days. Thank you for your patience as we get the randomizer set up here. I deserve that. I deserve this. Tainted Lazarus to Uber Mom. You know, this is penance. This is penance for taking a few. Wait, that was just regular Lazarus. Hold on. I don't deserve this. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. What an interesting option we have available to us here as well, might I add. What do you think? And I was very curious to think that that might be the option. Any chance we could get anything at all? Thank you. I don't really care if we come back as Dark Lazarus right now, but obviously the more HP we have, the more we can actually use it to maybe get an angel item on this floor, or a bunch of money, or some spirit hearts that would actually make it justifiable to, you know, reincarnate instead of trying to run this 3 HP Marty the whole way. Yeah, so there's been no Isaac for like a few days. Basically, it's just, I mean, real life got in the way. There's no other way to describe it. The whole family got sick, including myself, for a period of time, which is a downer to begin with. But then, you know, when the family includes a young child, especially, it's a little bit more, you know, for me, because you can always ask, like, an adult how they feel. For a little baby, you know, you gotta use scientific instruments. You gotta use a thermometer and be like, you know, what's the fever? Then you gotta Google the fever temperature to see if it's okay. Then you gotta Google Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion, because for some reason every website on Earth that has advice about what temperature a fever is truly dangerous at is in Fahrenheit. I don't know why we still use, I was going to say imperial. I don't know if Fahrenheit is technically an imperial measure. You get the idea. And then on top of that, you know, the baby's daycare is closed for holidays. So we've been on, you know, full-time, super, you know, robust baby duty. Do we know these? I'm cheating, basically, using the item description mod to see what's in there. But yeah, it was for a good cause. Hold on. Strength card, kind of sick. Let's try something here. Very nice. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. I don't really care about a Book of the Dead card right now, but we'll take this in here. I think we can get some good stuff going as a result of this. Increased Angel Room chance. Red hearts. Angel Room item. It is an Angel Room item in many ways. Whether it's worthy of being one is a matter of personal concern, I suppose I would say. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. So it's not like, I know, honestly, this is going to sound like sour grapes. I really don't mean it like that. But I've been like, you know, sorry I couldn't record Isaac for the last couple of days. People say that's no sweat, enjoy your holiday. And I'm like, it's not really what it's like. I wish I could say I was over here, you know, sipping on Gentleman Jack and, you know, just, I mean, it's not like it's been terrible, but yeah, it's not like an abundance of leisure has led to Isaac slipping down the priority list. It's really just circumstance. It takes a lot to get me out of the 2 video a day grind, you know? Baby goes back to day. Everyone's feeling good. Baby goes back to daycare next. This upcoming week, things should return to normal, but I appreciate, above all else, the patience that people have had. Especially, I understand, you know, we've attracted an audience that, you know, one of the reasons they're here is for the routine. For the routine to get disrupted is kind of annoying, for sure. We definitely do want to at least step on this die and then get the heck out of the room as quickly as possible. Because I think if we got hit once there, that might have killed us. It depends on how the iframes shook out, but yeah, anyway, I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the Super Auto Pets. We still had VODs and stuff coming up, but in a way, can I tell you, I was talking to Dan about this. Dan and I are like, well, I guess I can't speak for him, but for me, he's like my sounding board for like YouTube stuff, and he was like, you know, he was checking in, making sure everything was okay, and I was like, yeah, everything's good. In a way, it's actually the Ace of Spades or the Queen of Hearts. I didn't know we had a Queen of Hearts, but we'll take the Ace of Spades with us here. Sucks to leave. Oh, you gotta go to Uber, Mom. Would have been disastrous, man, kind of. But I was like, in a way, it's actually nice that after, I don't know how many years, a lot of, you know what, I would take this right now. After how many years of, you know, not missing an Isaac episode, it's nice to kind of get the obvious, I mean, it should be apparent, but it's nice to know, you know, 100% the world's not gonna end when the episode doesn't go up. You know, some people were like, oh, I didn't see an episode today. Is everything okay? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm just, like, really busy. And they're like, oh, that's totally fine. Take your time. I'll just watch an old one. There wasn't, you know, mass rebellions and, you know, manifestos and, you know, the Super Auto Pets revolution has been a disaster for society and stuff. People were mostly just like, okay, have a nice holiday. You know, it's nice. So I appreciate that. Thank you. It would have been nice to keep it all moving as well, but it's also nice that it's, sure, why not? It's also nice that, you know, we had a good excuse, if that makes sense. I think, you know, that's appropriate. But I will say, you know, you might have expected I was in the Bacta tank for anecdotes. You might have expected I would pop out after like 4 days with no Isaac, and I would be like, check out all these amazing anecdotes. They don't exist. I think I've mentioned it, but, you know, I got sick. I genuinely don't think it's COVID, but I'm also, or to think it was COVID, because I'm better now, but I'm also smart enough to know that it manifests itself in different ways for different people. So I can't confirm that I have it, and I also can't get tested because in our province they told us not to get tested unless you're over the age of 65. So I was kind of on like being a nice guy / mandatory. I don't know if it's just mandatory or if they want you to do it, but I've basically put myself on like 5-day house arrest until symptoms subsided, which they have now. I'm happy to report, but we haven't really been getting up to too much. Been watching a little bit of Seinfeld on Netflix and reading a lot of books to my daughter, like a ton of them. I'm not complaining, by the way. Okay, let's do angel deals. That's smarter. But there hasn't really been like a huge anecdote factory. It is New Year. I mean, like it's not New Year's anymore, but it is the new year. It's January 2nd today. I think I'm okay. Well, that the easy come, easy go on the Boneheart at least. I think you gotta remember, you gotta hit these guys into the fire, man. That's how you do it. Let's go check out this curse room. I am not shy about the holidays I like and the holidays I don't. What I always say though is, you know, at the end of the day, I'm never gonna complain about a day off. Like even if I work a little bit on the day, like I'm not trying to say I'm a hero or whatever, but I'm never gonna be like, oh, people shouldn't, oh, well, we get too many holidays, stop taking Thanksgiving off. You know, that's like psychotic behavior. New Year's, I feel, or have felt in the past, maybe like a connection to in a modest sense, just because I think it's an appropriate time to take stock of the year that just passed. Obviously, it's an appropriate time to think about what you want to have happen differently in the new year, and you know, you implement those changes early. You can see a big difference in your life, of course. However, this staying up till midnight stuff, I gotta tell you, it's for the birds. I was talking about it on stream. So if you're wondering, did I make it to midnight? I did. I made it to midnight. I had a great time. As long as you're talking about midnight Eastern time. Oh, man. Because, no, I was in bed probably by 9:40. Well, no, I think we watched an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm after the East Coast ball drop. So I was probably in bed by like 10:15 my time. That's right. I finally joined the 10:15 club. This is a little joke about people would ask you to join the Pen 15 club in middle school. Then they'd write Pen 15 on your hand and it would look like, uh-oh. I mean, you can figure it out for yourself, I'm sure, at this point. Okay, I'm happy with our spacebar item. I wouldn't mind picking up The converter, but I don't think it's strictly necessary, but if we get the money, even just to jam on it a few times might be advisable. This is 1-to-1 now, right? Which is just insanity. We gotta check this. We probably don't need the converter. Oh, no, wait, we need the converter more. What's wrong with me? And that's convenient. I don't think we're gonna fight the boss. I think we're just gonna do things the easy way here. Hey, man, I'm out of practice. Might as well get ourselves back in the saddle, you know? And I was talking about it on stream, but I think I've passed an important milestone in life. I think certainly more than 50% of the days where I stay up till midnight over the course of the aggregate of my entire life are now gone, and I guess I won't be getting the converter. I need these bombs to get in here. Yeah, there were other ways, but like I'm definitely past I'm probably past like the 90% point for nights that'll stay up past midnight. You know, there's like more than a decade where I basically never went to sleep before midnight unless I was ill. You know, and now the odds of me ever having a decade like that again, I mean, that's a threat. Like, what is gonna... And I'm not saying if you're a night owl or if you work third shift that you've screwed up. I'm just saying, for where I'm at in my life right now, something would have to go drastically wrong for me to go from like an 8... Well, not 8:30, let's not be unreasonable. But to go from like a 10 p.m. bedtime to a 1 a.m. bedtime consistently for a decade, it would be a major change in my life. Let's put it that way. But I also, I was thinking, I love these like weird stats that you can use to contextualize, you know, your behavior as you go through life. It's just kind of an interesting thing to think about, right? I wonder if I've gotten past the point where I will ever stay up past midnight intentionally ever again. I don't think my parents have stayed up past midnight, their local time, I should say, on purpose. And we gotta look at this, unfortunately. Nah. Maybe on, like, when I was young and they had a birthday or something like that, they might stay up until 1. Or if there was a hotly contested municipal election and results were coming in really late or something like that, maybe if there was a great episode of Jay Leno on, they might consider it. But I think for the most part, you reach a point in life, you know, if you're on that normal 9-to-5 schedule, where the only times you end up staying... I am not going to take this. We have an amazing item. You lose. I said good day, sir. The only time you end up staying up past midnight is either due to, like, anxiety that only manifests when you're horizontal and in bed, or alternatively, you know, you're about to go to sleep and then you get a phone call that's like, you know, someone from your family's in the hospital. Like, I don't mean to be macabre, I'm just, like... I was looking at my mental calendar, and I'm like, when the heck am I gonna stay up past midnight ever again? I realized that the answers were not good. The answers were that when something goes wrong, and you're up at 3 a.m. That's a different vibe than when, you know, you just were like, what? I thought it was only like 11:45. It's crazy how alcohol use distorts your perception of the passage of time. Come on, man. Okay, you know what? All is forgiven is actually like a pretty huge get. Very happy with that. Anyway, again, I don't know, it didn't mean to be macabre. I'm just, it's one of those things, you know, people talk about the phases one goes through in their life. You know, oh, going off to college, renting their first apartment, renting their next apartment, so on and so forth. You know, when you have a kid, or, you know, when you buy a PS5 finally, like all these major milestones of your life, nobody talks about ones like when you stop deliberately staying up past midnight, and then the only reason you're ever up past midnight is because something's gone terribly wrong. Nobody else is talking about that stuff, which is why I bring it up incessantly to the point that you're probably like, please shut up. Anyway, things have been going good. To be honest, I've been hitting that bedtime pretty pretty reasonably lately. I gotta tell you, is there watching? So I didn't watch. I'm not a Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve kind of guy to begin with. But I do remember I watched a little in 2019. In the before times, we had company over, one person. And I remember, like, BTS was playing, and Kate and her friend were like, oh, we gotta see BTS on Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve. And I think it was like, oh, finally, like, the legitimate American media is taking more notice of this, you know, incredible Korean band. And I didn't have the heart to be like, actually, this is like an aging corporate American dinosaur that is trying to, you know, suck up any sort of relevancy that it can possibly get by piggybacking on the, you know, the fame of one of the largest bands on the planet. Maybe it's a win-win in that sense, but it was definitely like not like Rockin' New Year's Eve was doing BTS a favor by allowing them to play. It was definitely much more like, what the heck is this? It was much more like, yeah, you know, sure, we'll let you play. Also, you know, I'll tell you what, we won't even charge you for it. But watching, I didn't see it in 2021, or I guess 2020 technically, but watching even 15 minutes of Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve was like the most psychotic piece of entertainment I've seen this year. Just everybody wearing masks, but also simultaneously kind of like pretending like the last year didn't happen, and like that also there's no pandemic. Like, I don't mean that every, like, Ryan Seacrest should like solemnly come out on Times Square and be like, hey guys, don't forget to like wash your hands. Also, here's Ja Rule and Ashanti. But I mean, like, at some level, like, I mean, Liza Koshy was doing like interstitials, and she was like, I know that like it's amazing, like, tonight's our night, this year's gonna be our year. And I'm like, lady, like a little bit of like a dose of reality. The American public shouldn't be allergic to it at this point. Can we at least, like, it just struck me as such like an ungenuine vibe, you know, that everybody that was there, and it was like such a small crowd relative to the norm, which makes a lot of sense, but everybody that was there definitely seemed to be like, you know, these were the best days of our life. Like, what kind of, I don't, look, now I'm getting, like, it's personal. What kind of person is like, oh man, I've always wanted to go to Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve in Times Square, and you know what? This is my year. Specifically also, you know, with like Omicron popping off, you know, it's just like, it's one of those things where I just looked at it, I was like, really? I mean, don't get me wrong, like, people have different dreams. Like, I got a dream to never stay up past midnight ever again. A lot of people would be like, that sounds lame. Thanks, Paris Hilton, I appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of your career after your Netflix show got canned like 6 episodes in because it was the worst piece of media that's ever been created. Hold on. That's not... Look, that was a straw man that then I imprinted on a real human being who I have no problem with, really. But because the straw man was kind of like a Paris Hilton impression, I felt like I had to go for the jugular. That's my own personal cross to bear. That's not Paris's fault. I'm just gonna drop some bombs, if that's okay with you. My game crashed? Cool. Alright, let me guess. I killed Lilith at like the exact moment that Tainted Delirium, or whatever the heck he's called, swapped into another boss, and the game went, what? That's alright, we'll load it up and do the whole floor again. In case you're wondering why Super Auto Pets was maybe perhaps a little bit more prioritized during my period of some inactivity. That's fine. 14 minutes in Mausoleum 1, that seems about right. I guess, like, I was just looking for, I don't know, like, a reality check When normally, you know, oh, it's New Year's Eve 2012, this year's gonna be the best years of our lives. Wow, check out all these awesome moments that happened in 2014, you know? This year I was losing it. Like, we were watching it on some kind of like Boston affiliate station, and they did do like a year in memoriam. They were like, here's all the celebrities that died. Oh, remember when like the Capitol riots happened? And like, remember all these incredible weather events? Oh, remember COVID? And then they were like, remember when the New England Patriots got a new quarterback who wasn't Tom Brady? I was like, you know, one of these things is not like the other, but it especially feels in this year to like to run an event called Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve and be like, it's the biggest party in New York City is just kind of like, it's just weird to me. Like, I get it, people are still having fun. I'm not asking people to quit having fun. I'm mostly just like, you know, could you just put it off for like I don't know how long. Last year I would have said like a year. This year I'm like, I don't know, but still, it's like, I don't know. I guess the big thing for me is that it just doesn't seem pleasant to be there to begin with, you know? Surrounded by people who every time they're on camera pull their masks off to show how like not owned they are and stuff like that. And also, you know, heard rumors like people like pee their pants because they don't want to lose their spot close to the front of the line. I also, there's something about like the musical acts that they have. I was saying to Kate, I was like, I think that if you get invited to play Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, it's a sign you're never gonna have another hit song. But it's also a sign that perhaps your nostalgia will be able to sustain you for the rest of your natural life. Like, it's not necessarily a bad sign, and there's an exception, BTS. But they had like, it was Ashanti and Ja Rule, Macklemore, and Ryan Lewis. Some country music artists I'd never heard before in my entire life who, I mean, I don't mean to be this kind of guy. The only reason it was classified as country music was because he was rapping like this, you know what I mean? Like, it used to be, the joke was that, you know, hey, if you play a country song in reverse, what happens? The guy gets his wife back, he gets his dog back, he gets his truck back. Now it's like, it's not even that. It's just like, oh, I don't like rap music. I like country music where they don't rap like this, they rap like that. I got a cowboy boot and a dog, not a cat. I got a something, a girl, when I do it then again. And it's just literally the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. Anyway, it was just and like Sierra's hosting it. Like, it was like my generation is now effectively taken over Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, and I hate it. It's just, hey, remember like that one song from 8 years ago? What if we invited the artist who made it famous to perform it like, I just didn't, people in the audience were like not even really dancing. I think they were having the same kind of crisis I was, which is just like, what a weird concert. It's like a song an hour followed exclusively by, you know, a deluge of Planet Fitness ads. It's just such a, I mean, it's just a cynical piece of content. I don't know if it was always like that, or maybe like, you know, when I watched it when I was younger, it seemed special because New York was like a magical place, and now that I've been there, it's just like someplace people live. Don't mean to be rude, but you know, like, I got nothing against New York, unlike Boston, but overall, you got it. At the end of the day, it do be a place where people, you know, are not skating, you know, in Rockefeller Square every day. A lot of them are just, you know, trying to get through the dang day. I think that's honestly like, well, I should have taken the hermit card and gotten the heck out of here, man. This is going to be a real problem. However, I believe in us, okay? That's how I feel about, like, Vancouver, too, honestly. Like, we're not, you know, like a super alpha city or whatever they call it. You know, we're like a beta plus city or something. I think that means, like, if the ports shut down, like, we'll be fine. But if the airport goes down, cancel Christmas, something like that. Maybe the opposite. Or the inverse. We need this. That's a must-buy right now, I'd say. Things are going to get a little interesting here. But, like, you know, I feel like you might have taken what I said as an insult to New York. But really, instead, that's, like, what a city kind of, like, you know, is for the majority of people who live there. And don't just go there on, like, vacation, right? Like, I'd be annoyed if the tourists came to Vancouver and they're like, what, you don't drink, like, 4 Fat Tugs every day? If I lived in Vancouver, I would eat sushi every day. No, you wouldn't. You would, honestly, I mean, like, you'd get sick of it. Is this, you're just mom's heart. No, never mind. I was confused. That's my bad. I would eat smoked salmon every single day. I would never leave Gastown. I would go to Gastown every day and watch that steam clock go boop. Trust me, you get over it. You know, it's mostly, it's nice to live in a nice city, but then you also, just, you know, you're living your life. Anyway, so, like, I know this seems negative. I'm not really negative on, like, the new year. Again, like I said, I consider it's an important time to take stock of what worked and what didn't work for you in the, oh no, in the year that just passed. Okay, well, yeah, that's on me. That's on me. You know what, though? This room is getting stacked. I'm mostly just cynical on Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve. That's about it. Like, I feel like maybe it should have been canceled when Dick Clark died. You know, like 11 years ago or something. Well, this room is now incredible. Holy cow, I learned how to dodge. I mean, like, I don't want that to be my legacy. I don't know what Mr. Clark would have felt. You know, like, he had a 70-year career in media or whatever. Maybe he left it in his will. Like, you know, if you ever stop doing Rockin' New Year's Eve, I'm gonna haunt everybody involved. But, like, if I die, definitely, I'm gonna come back and be like a poltergeist if I catch you doing the Isaac series, but like with Ryan Seacrest instead. Also, there's just so many moments that are like, I don't know, it's it all reminds me of like when you have like a corporate team building exercise or something, and you're like, we're only here because like literally we got the day off from work, but we're not able to do whatever we wanted. The day was off so we could come to this, you know, like weird hiking expedition that is also going to help us like work better with our customer service reps or whatever. But it just is this weird vibe, veneer of like artifice attached to it. Like they did, like Powerball. We're gonna make the first millionaires of 2022, and they did they had 5 finalists, and they did a draw to see who was gonna get $1 million out of these 5 finalists. And then they look. I'm not saying $1 million is not a lot of money. All I'm saying is when one ball was picked and you know it was clear who won, the other 4 finalists did not even get their reaction shown. They were yeeted into the Skype ether. But also the people who won weren't even like that impressed. They were kind of like, oh cool, like $1 million. And you know, there's a part of you, of course, it's like I don't know how I would react in a situation like that. I'm not the kind of guy who would just go like woo. But also I'm like, man, they live in like you know, I think they lived in Virginia or maybe like Maine or something like that. I was like, it's possible that basically is just like, you know, their mortgage. Which is nice, don't get me wrong, but like, it's the biggest New Year's special of the year, and you're giving out $1 million and expecting people to be like, wow, thank you, Powerball, thank you so much. Like, look, you see the inflation prints this year, that's worth 6% less than it was last year. I'm not saying that free money has to scale with inflation. I'm just saying if you want to have us going, oh, thank you, Mr. Corporate Powerball, thank you, thank you. Like, at least give them some fun money, not just like, well, I don't know. Again, I don't know what their financial situation was like. I'm just saying, based on their reaction, they didn't seem that impressed. No one would turn down a free $1 million, okay? Obviously. I'm just saying that, like, when the Powerball Corporation, I mean, they're not really giving away $1 million, right? It's an advertisement for the lottery that probably, I don't know, at least like 10 to 20 million people were watching worldwide, if not more. They gave away $1 million in order to also get free advertising. You know what we call that? Buying an ad. Like, you don't get my credit for that. You just do something ridiculous. Give them $50 million. You know? Then you'll see some reactions. Anyway, I don't know if that's based or out of touch. Powerball, if you're listening, you can buy my silence. Absolutely. It won't cost you $1 million. It would be much less. $50 Subway gift card. And I'm talking $50 Canadian. Anyway. That's about all the material I have on Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve. If it's your favorite show in the world, sorry. For many reasons. I know that I don't think that many people like the show because of the show. I think they like it because of the tradition. I mean, I got more like insane takes. What a great play there. I've got more insane takes if you want them. Like, here's one. The actual... He's done it. Everybody thinks the best part of the New Year's ball... Oh, no! We gotta take the pill. Saved. Everybody thinks the best part of the New Year's ball drop is when the ball hits the bottom and you say Happy New Year. I'm like, nah, man. Nah. The best part of the New Year's ball drop is when it first starts to move and you say 10. You know, you're now involved in the ceremony, which is nice. We are indeed farming some scatter glitter bombs here. 9 through like 4 are basically just a waste of your time. You know it and I know it. And then 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year is good. But I maintain the best time on New Year's Day is when you're 10 seconds away from the actual New Year itself. Oh my god, we got golden bombs. The worst time is like 12:05. Because that's when you gotta be like, what's the surge pricing on Uber right now? I gotta get home. You thought I was gonna stay here all night? Are you insane? The whole reason we're here is now it's over. I don't know how we're gonna do this. But to be honest, I do think it's possible. The question is really, like, at this point in my life, how deep do I want to go? I just wanted to pick up the heart, man. How deep do I want to go on, like, these scatter bombs? And I'll just be honest with you, the answer is, like, not deep. I don't mean to be rude, I don't mean to pierce the veil, like, I just, if we can all agree that if I wanted to, I could just place scatter bombs till we got enough spirit hearts to win, because we have 99 bombs, or sorry, we have an infinite supply of bombs, then we already agree that on paper this is a win. A computer program could pilot this run to a win at this point. In that case, what do I gain by actually doing it, you know? The experience. I'm drowsy, kind of sick, honestly. We should use the magician at this point. Oh no. What are you doing? Okay, this has knockback, so just be careful. I am thinking this could screw us up. Are we done? We're done with that? Okay. And now we're doing it again. I can't see the lines. I can see those lines. The rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Didn't see any lines there. Maybe that's a me thing. You spinning? He's spinning. Okay. Stay proactive. Look, they're moving mighty slow. Dude, we gotta stay up here more often. Look at how visible the lines are. Sometimes. Okay, that was a little close. We're spinning. He's dead. I mean, she's dead. Okay, so like, okay, all that stuff about the computer program, don't worry about it. I'm built different. I'm cracked. Lazarus to Ubermom, one of the easiest runs of my entire life. Put me in the chest. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It's good to be back. We might miss a couple more days over the next, you know, little bit, just as we get settled back into our routine. But new year, same me. That's my promise in all the good ways. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.